Hey, I want to tell you something about tonight. I know you looked away from me a few times tonight. I know you probably didn't think I noticed. You were looking at your phone, or the TV, or just somewhere else. I've been thinking about that. Because I counted. Every single time. Tonight, I want to tell you the number. And what I was thinking. Each time. Is that okay? Okay. I should probably explain why I do this. The counting thing. It's not because I think you're going anywhere. I want you to know that first. It's not suspicion. It's more that when I really love something, I want to hold on to every piece of it, even the small pieces, even the pieces that don't seem like they matter. A glance away, a glance back. Those count too. In my head, they count as much as anything else. I've always been like this. Actually, counting things. When I was a kid, I used to count my mom's footsteps coming up the stairs at night, just to know how close she was before I fell asleep. I think it's a comfort thing. Numbers don't lie to you. Numbers don't change their mind. If I count something, it's real. It happened. I have it. So when you looked away tonight, I didn't get hurt by it. Exactly. I just noticed it and kept it. Filed it away with a number attached. And by the end of the night, the number had gotten big enough that I knew I had to tell you about it. Because some of those moments weren't really about you looking away at all. Some of them were about something else completely. I'll explain. One at a time. Here. Come closer. Feel how warm it is right here. Shoulders down. Good. You don't have to do anything. Just listen to the rain. and listen to me. I've got 10 things to tell you. 10 numbered moments. And then, at the end, the actual total. Ready? Okay. 1. Count 1. We were on the couch, just sitting there after dinner. Your phone buzzed and you looked at it. And I looked at you looking at it. That's count 1. It wasn't really about the phone. I want you to know that. It was about how your whole face changes when you're reading something. You get this little crease right here between your eyebrows. I was watching that crease, not the phone. I don't even know what was on the screen. I was just watching you concentrate. That's count 1. A good one. A soft one. Count 2. This one was in the kitchen. You were looking for the bottle opener in the drawer that never has anything in the right place. And you got distracted by something out the window. A car. Maybe. Headlights. You looked away from me for, I don't know, 4 seconds. 5. That's count 2. That one I almost didn't count. Because it wasn't even about me. You weren't choosing the window over me. You were just a person, existing, noticing things. I counted it anyway, because I count everything. That's just how I'm built. Count 3. This one's different. This one actually meant something. About the thing she said on the phone earlier. And you looked away from me. Not at anything specific. Just down at your hands. That's count 3. And that one I noticed because your jaw tightened a little. You do that when something actually bothers you, but you don't want to make it a whole thing. I saw that. I counted it. And I let you have the moment without pushing. I'm telling you now because I don't think you got to actually finish that feeling. Whatever it was. If you want to, we can go back to it. After I finish counting, breathe in and out. Three down. 7 more. The next ones get a little harder, a little more honest. Stay with me. Count 4. You were on a call with your friend, laughing at something, and you turned slightly toward the hallway, like you needed a little privacy for the laugh. That's count 4. I liked that one. Actually, hearing you laugh like that, unself-conscious, easy, the kind of laugh you don't perform. You don't laugh like that around me very often. I noticed that too. Filed that one away separately. Actually, not as a count, just as a note. A small one. Count 5. This is the one I actually need to be honest about. Because this one wasn't about you at all. This one was about me. You were looking right at me. Full attention. The good kind. And I looked away first. I counted it anyway. Because it still happened. Even though it was me who broke it. I looked away because sometimes when you look at me like that, really look, I don't know what to do with how much it means. It's easier to glance down for a second than to just sit inside that feeling with my eyes wide open. That's count 5. The one where I was the one who looked away. Count 6. We were doing the dishes. You were washing. I was drying. Our usual division of labor. And you looked over at the clock on the stove like you were checking the time. That's count 6. I wondered what you were checking the time for. If there was somewhere you needed to be, or something you were looking forward to. I didn't ask. I just counted it and kept drying the same plate for probably longer than necessary. I do that sometimes when I'm thinking too hard about something small. Breathe with me. All the way in. Hold it a second. And let it go. 6. That was 6. You heard the one where it was actually me. Thank you for not making that weird. 4 more. These get harder. Count 7. This one's harder to explain. We were just lying here, like this, not talking about anything important. And you looked away from me toward the ceiling. Just staring up at nothing. That's count 7. And I watched you do that, and I had this thought that scared me a little. I thought, what if one day he looks at the ceiling like that, and he's not thinking about anything peaceful? What if one day that's what it looks like right before someone tells you something you don't want to hear? I don't think that's what was happening. I think you were just resting your eyes. But the thought came anyway. That's the price of counting everything, I guess. Sometimes you count your way into a fear that was never actually there. Count 8. You looked at the photo on the shelf. The one from the trip. You smiled at it. A real smile. And then you looked back at me. That's count 8. I almost don't want to count that one, because it wasn't sad at all. It was the opposite. You looked at a memory of us, and it made you happy enough that it showed on your face before you even knew I was watching. That's the kind of looking away I want more of. Actually, the kind that comes back to me smiling. Count 9. This is the one I haven't told you about before tonight. Earlier, when you thought I was asleep, I wasn't. Actually, I was just lying still. And you looked at me for a long time, you looked away, toward the window, and you said something, quietly. I don't think you meant for me to hear it. That's count 9. I'm not going to tell you what you said. Not tonight. I'm keeping that one for myself a little longer. Just know that I heard it. And it's the reason I decided to tell you about all of this tonight, instead of just keeping the count in my head forever. Like usual. That one changed something in me. Breathe. All the way in. And all the way out. 9. That was 9. You heard the hardest ones. Thank you for staying through them. One more. The last one. And then the total. The actual number. Count 10. The last one. Right now. A few seconds ago. You looked away from me to listen to the rain. Just for a second. Then you looked back. That's count 10. And that one I'm keeping exactly as it is. No deeper meaning. No fear attached to it. Just you listening to the rain for a second. And then choosing to come back to me. That's the whole story of that one. A small, ordinary choosing. Over and over. All night. So, 10. That's the number. 10 times you looked away from me tonight. I know that's probably smaller than you expected. I know I made it sound like this big, heavy thing, when really it's just 10. 10 ordinary moments in an ordinary night. But here's what I actually want you to hear. It was never about the number being big or small. It was about the fact that I noticed every single one. That nothing about you is small enough for me to miss it. Not a glance at your phone. Not a look at the clock. Not even the one where it was actually me who looked away. I catch all of it. Every time. Breathe with me. In and out. There. You have the whole number now. All 10. Everything they meant. Let that be as big or as small as it actually is. You don't have to do anything with it. Just let it in. I'm not going to stop. By the way, counting, tomorrow night there'll be a new number. And the night after that, another one. I'm always going to be keeping track. Somewhere in the back of my mind, of every time you look away from me and every time you come back. I hope that's okay. I know now you understand what it actually means, so I hope it doesn't feel strange anymore. It's not surveillance. It's just how I hold on to things I love. One small moment at a time. And here's the thing I really want you to know. The number doesn't actually matter to me the way you might think it does. What matters is the other number. The one I don't say out loud as often. The number of times you looked back. That one's always exactly the same as the first number. Every single time you looked away tonight, you came back. 10 for 10. That's the real count that matters. Not the looking away. The choosing to return. Here. Close your eyes if you want. Feel the warmth. Breathe. In and out. You know the number now. Both of them. Really. Sleep with that. You want to know what I'm counting right now. You're breathing. It's slowing down. That's 1. The rain. Steady. Not stopping anytime soon. That's 2. How many minutes until you're actually asleep? I'm guessing 6. That's not really a count. That's a prediction. But I'm counting it anyway. Everything's a count to me. Eventually. I'm counting how many times tonight I've felt like the luckiest person in this apartment. That number's too high to actually track. I lost count of that one a long time ago. Probably somewhere around the second time you ever looked at me like you meant it. I stopped counting that one on purpose. Some things are better left uncounted. Just felt instead. Breathe. In and out. Shoulders down. All the way. You're known here. Every small moment of you. Counted. Kept. Loved. Rest now. Let's take a final deep breath together. In and completely out. Settle down into the pillows. Let the rhythm lock in. Sleep now. I'm right here. Still counting. Even now. How many breaths until you're fully under? How many times your hand twitches right before you go? I'll have a new number by morning. I always do. Listen to the rain. Steady, like I am. 10 tonight. 10 times you looked away. 10 times you came back. That's the only math that matters. Sleep. I'm counting you safe.